What is up, everyone? David here with Delicato Media for another installment of Do You Even Watch Those? The show where I go through my physical media collection to prove that I actually watch everything that I buy. Today, we're going to be talking about Charade on Blu-ray. I know there's a criterion of this film, but I don't have it. I just have this basic Universal Blu-ray that I picked up from Groove. I'll have the link in the description if you're interested in picking it up. So yeah, we're just going to talk about my thoughts on the film overall, the quality of the transfer on both an audio and visual, and whether or not it's going to stay in my collection. So starting off with thoughts on the film. I actually didn't really know much about this film going into it. I picked it up because it looked like a good, fun little movie, and I wasn't really sure what it was about, or I know that Audrey Hepburn and Cary Grant were in it, and so I was interested in just checking it out. I know it's considered one of the classics per se, hence it being in the Criterion Collection. So I went ahead and picked it up, and I hadn't seen it for a very long time. So a lot of the times, and a lot of physical media collectors can probably attest to this, you pick something up and you don't watch it immediately, and then it just kind of sits on your need to watch shelf for a while until you get to it. And so that was the case for me. So I finally got the chance and got around to watching this film, and I had a great time with it. So for those who don't know, but I'm sure most of you do, Charade is a film that essentially follows Audrey Hepburn, who is the widow of a deceased rich guy who apparently was involved in some shady stuff with some stealing from the government. And from there, she kind of gets framed as having the leftover money of that her husband got from selling everything in their house. And so the story essentially follows her and Cary Grant, who is kind of this new love interest that pops up, but also a little bit strange because she doesn't know if she can trust him because he continuously lies to her about who he really is. And the film follows them evading three other individuals who are after her because they think she has the money. And the whole movie is about her going through and trying to figure out where the money is and why these people are chasing her and what actually happened, who Cary Grant's character actually is. And there are a lot of twists and turns that go from here to there. You think something's going one way, it's actually going another, but really it was going the same way the whole time. And then, so it was really entertaining to watch. And one of the big things that stood out to me was actually the dialogue was really, really sharp. And the way that they talked to each other didn't really feel like it was an old movie. I don't know how to explain it very well, but most of the time when I go back and watch older films, I get this sense that the way that they talk is a little bit different than they do in modern movies. And I felt that the dialogue in this film was actually a lot sharper and more concise than what I would expect from a film of this era. This film came out in 1963, and so yeah, it was kind of a surprise to see, and I really liked it. For those that have seen films like Singing in the Rain or even Some Like It Hot, there's just like a snappy, witty way that the characters talk to each other that really appeals to me, and I really enjoy seeing on screen and portrayed, especially in older films where it's not expected. So overall, big two thumbs up for me if you're going to just check out this film, digital or on physical. If you're looking at this physical media release right here, like I said, this is just a standard Universal Blu-ray. I picked it off of Groove.com on a deal where they had, I believe it was pick up 3 Blu-rays for $20 or something like that. And so I picked this one up. I picked next week's pick up, and I picked the Darkman trilogy on Blu-ray also as well. And so this was, like I said, a great. As far as the release goes, there's nothing really special about this. This is just the cover. This is the back. There isn't really any. There's no reversible cover art like there was last time. To show you, just white on the background. And so it's pretty simple, standard by the numbers. The special features that are included on this are actually just like these mini documentaries about Universal as a studio and the different producers that were there. From what I could tell and what I saw, it wasn't really specific to the actual film itself. It kind of looked like these generic special features that they just put on a bunch of discs from this era. And so nothing to write home about, but overall, if you can pick this up for like $5, $6, even less if you buy it used on like eBay or something like that, I would greatly recommend that you do so because it is a great time and I really enjoyed this movie. And yeah, so it's definitely going to be staying in my collection. I really enjoyed this film. The special features and presentation of it are so so. And just before I forget, the visual side of it, the one thing about this film is that it looks good, but it does look a bit old. And I don't know how to explain that very well, but there's a lot of, especially 4K transfers that have come out from other companies of older films that look phenomenal on 4K, that it looks like it was shot yesterday or something like that. This one, not so much. Yes, it's a Blu-ray, so maybe if it were a 4K, it might be a little bit of a different story, but this is a good transfer, but I do think there was a lack of definition at certain points. As far as the audio goes, great stuff, sounded great. There wasn't any moment where I had to turn up or down the volume. The mix was good. But yeah, I would say on the visual aspect, it's good for what you get, but I think you're going to watch, if you're like, oh, I have this idea of what an old movie looks like, that's probably what this is going to look like for you. And so I wouldn't say it's anything to stop you from picking up this release or picking up the Criterion one. I'm not sure if they use the same transfer on that one that they do on this Blu-ray, but I would say just one thing to keep in mind: don't expect this to be looking super sharp. I know last time when I talked about Gambit, I said that it looked incredible. This does not look as good as Gambit, in my opinion, but it's still worthwhile and it won't take you out of the experience of watching the movie. So yeah, um, good stuff on that end, good stuff on the movie itself. Great time. And as far as packaging, could be better, but it's a studio release, so you can't really expect too much from it. So I would say, yeah, definitely pick this up, especially if you can catch it on one of those Groove sales. I'll link the one specific for this, but I would say wait until it's a part of like a 3 for 15 or something like that, where you can get it for a really good deal and a really good price, and pick up some other ones with it as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. This film is definitely going to be staying in my collection, and I will catch you all on the next video where I will be talking about another Universal Blu-ray, Chef on Blu-ray, directed by Jon Favreau. This is actually my favorite movie of all time, and so I'm really excited to be talking about this film in the next video, and I will catch you all there. Remember, blog and podcast will be linked down below. Hope you guys can check that stuff out. Some new stuff is going to be coming out, especially as the new films start rolling out and I catch more and more of those and the films that came before it. A lot of stuff that I'm looking forward to working on, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye.